to the Roto Joe's Fantasy Football Podcast. Tonight, guys, we're going to recap the whole offseason. StreamYard sucks, and I didn't know about it. And the last three podcasts we recorded have not come out right. So, tonight is kind of the first time we've been checked in with a couple months. Not too terribly bad. Season's still June, July. It's still 2 months away from the season starting, so it's not like anything's happening too crazy right now. Let's start out with the fun game. Where he go? DeAndre Hopkins, Caden. Where he go?
Sounding like Cleveland. The more I think, the more I read into it. Yesterday, if you would have asked me, I would have said Houston or New England. I think both those teams are still kind of in play. I think it's really going to boil down to who's willing to give him a contract that he could take a 1 year, $4 million, go play for the Chiefs, win a Super Bowl. But I don't think that's DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think that's the kind of game he plays. He's been very adamant about his money his whole career. He's going to want to go to somewhere that can pay him, and I think that kind of circles around the Cleveland, New England, Houston kind of territory for him. Now, would he be great wherever he goes? I do believe so. I think he's got a couple good years of still being a dog. I mean, he's still got the best hands, in my opinion, in the entire league. He kind of lacks speed, but he was never really that fast guy. He's never going to burn you down the field. He's the guy you want to throw a jump ball to. Even though he's not a tower, he's still the guy that can make it happen. So I think he definitely provides value fantasy-wise for a couple of years wherever he goes. If he goes to New England, he's New England, Houston, or he's the undisputed one there. So
yeah, but in fantasy, I wouldn't have him. I'd probably have him as a wide receiver 24, 25.
Sure.
That's still nasty. Like Mac Jones, New England, gross. I have him going to Cleveland. I think he's going to go back and play with Deshaun. Successful next to Amari Cooper. They have a hole in that receiving core right now. Donovan Peoples-Jones is okay. You'd rather have Hopkins in that Z spot. So yeah, I think he ends up in Cleveland back with Deshaun. Zeke, where he go? The answer is Dallas. He's going back to Dallas. Mike McCarthy's going to finish running his ass into the ground. Mike McCarthy's going to give Zeke 250 fucking carries, and Zeke's going to have like 700 total rushing yards.
I think he goes to the couch. I don't think we ever see him again.
It's Cowboys or the couch. There's nowhere else Zeke goes. That's just that. Like, Zeke's not going anywhere else. He's going to go to the couch. I can see him going to Baltimore. Odell's there. Lamar's there. I can see Zeke signing a contract there.
And they love to take a fucking running back past their prime. They love it. they want Le'Veon Bell, Deontay Foreman, Latavius Murray. God, I mean, the list just really goes on. So yeah, I could see it. I could see more as a sneaky suspect. But yeah, if you haven't sold Zeke Elliott in Dynasty, you're not gonna.
No. He got traded for a first-round pick in our league last year, 10 weeks into the season.
Yeah, when it was more than apparent into the road. Yeah. No, I remember.
It was a high first, too. It was like the 104. All right, Dalvin Cook, where'd he go? He'll be in Miami snorting coke off of hookers because he won't be playing. The shoulder's done.
I think he'll be in Miami. I think that's where he's going to go. I think those kind of guys, he's a lot like Zeke in the aspect of he's been raining in fucking dirt for years. I think he has more value than Zeke just because he's not completely like – I mean, you could watch Zeke run and be like, this motherfucker tired. Last year, this boy tired. And Dalvin didn't really look the same. I think he goes to Miami. I think he more than that already shaky backfield. I think he's the guy they want to punch it in on the two. and I think that just makes that whole situation so much worse. And instead of being a god damn it,
I really wanted a Kane to get the lead there, but when Dalvin ends up there,
no, yeah, he's done at that point. And here's the thing, though, Dalvin ain't got a lot of years left, so that'd be a sneaky time to buy some Kane.
I like a Kane. I'm a noted Kane lover. And that Mike yeah, someone will fuck around and think Dalvin's going to be the starter. Do we believe that our league mate that claimed to be drunk when he accepted the Aaron Rodgers Dalvin Cook trade was really drunk?
Yeah, that's what he said. But that's I'm gonna go with probably facts, but it's a rookie move. I do my best deals when I'm half hammered. Because at that point I really think about it. I mean, I'm crunching numbers you motherfuckers don't even know about. I'm like, how many shoelace ties did he have on camera last year? You know what I mean? I'm digging deep.
Shoelace ties per snap. All right, Trey Lance. Here's a fun one. Where he go, or does he stay?
I think a lot of that centers around Brock Purdy's health. Now, I've heard, I follow a lot of NFL medical doctors. He's trending towards playing week 1. This is what I know. He's trending towards playing week 1, and I think if they get a good boost of confidence and they truly believe he's their guy, which I do believe they do, I think he gets dealt. I mean, they've got to deal it because Sam Darnold's a more than capable backup, right? If they think Brock Purdy's their guy, Sam Darnold's their backup, they'd be fucking stupid not to trade him. Now, I know they've had some problems where a third quarterback would have saved their season, but you can't live your life. You know what I mean? If you got a guy that you think's got some serious value right now, you got to deal him while the opportunity is there. And in my mind, I see a couple places. Tampa Bay shouldn't hang up the phone. I don't think Seattle should shy away from that one. I don't think because here's the deal: they traded a lot to get him, but they're not going to get a lot out of him.
Yeah, I think he ends up in Seattle. I just have a sneaky itch that that's a move that staff would want to make, and I think he'd fit up there pretty well. I don't think Geno's the answer. I think this year we're going to see him come crashing back down to earth.
Yeah, his ADP is way overinflated, and granted, they added some great weapons around him this offseason, but I just still don't think he, at his age, his point in his career, he's definitely not going to take a step up.
Oh, fuck no. No. All right, let's get into this offseason. We will talk about pretty much every fantasy relevant move, including some that probably aren't really relevant. First off, let's go over the unsigned. We have already talked about Hopkins, who was just released by Arizona. Don't know where he's going to end up. Kareem Hunt, is he going to end up playing another snap? Is he done? I've heard nothing about him. Nothing about any team bringing him in. No interest, nothing.
I couldn't imagine he's done because he should be a year younger than the rest of those guys, right? I just don't
looked slower last year.
I think a lot of these running backs, it's going to be a situation, say Najee Harris goes out there, fucks his ankle up in training camp, and then they're left like, oh shit. I could see a situation where one of those guys gets a called in, but I think it's going to take something like that for him, for Leonard Fournette, for Zeke. Because right now, I don't really see a whole lot of avenues where he would be the best guy on the team. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Kareem Hunt's cream of the crop of guys that are left out there. I think he could add a lot to the team, but, a lot of these guys are like, oh, I want to get paid. Team, they're just not gonna. So it could be a forever thing. Who knows?
Yeah. It just seems weird there's been no interest, but I do think this is a situation where he'd get called if someone gets hurt. He's probably one of the first calls.
He should be, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. All right. Zeke, we already talked about him. Leonard Fournette, I think he's resigned to the couch.
I think he's going to the couch, and I don't think we ever see or hear from him again.
Agreed. All right, Aaron Rodgers traded to the Jets. Jets get the 13th pick, 42nd, 207th, and a conditional second that turns to a first as long as he plays 65% of the snaps this year. They also pick up Alan Lazard, 4 years, $44 million, Randall Cobb, and then McCole Hardman, 1 year, $6 million. Hackett's the OC. It's pretty much the Rodgers troop come into the Big Apple. How's this going to end? I've jumped on the Rodgers bandwagon here. I think they're going to have a ton of success. It's essentially a lot of the Green Bay pieces and then Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. That plays really well. But we know what we saw with Denver last year, like sometimes this on paper doesn't always work out. And this could be that situation. Aaron doesn't like young players. He doesn't really like new things. I don't see a lot of interference from Salah. He's a defensive coach. I'm sure he stays away, but you just don't know.
Right.
So lots of variables here, but I tend to think Rodgers is a net value at cost, ADP-wise. Lazard's going down at wide receiver 51, which is shocking to me. I think he's back in that 40, 45, 50 range. I'll take him at 51 all day long. Hardman's a long shot in like a best ball format. Cobb's done. So yeah, I think this is a good move. I think they're Super Bowl contenders, but we will see. You don't know.
You never really know. I mean, they went out and did on paper what they should have done. Now, here's the thing: is they overpaid out the ass, and there's no doubt about it. If they end up getting a second and probably, barring an injury, a first out of a guy that's 39 years old and was probably going to retire anyway. The Green Bay Packers fleece the Jets at the end of the day. The only way that comes back is if they win a Super Bowl. The only way it's not a fleece. Now, if they go
play for
him and snake into a wild card and get their shit punched in by the fucking Chiefs or something, it's still a fleece.
I felt like it wasn't that bad of an overpay. I know you felt like that, but he could play 3 or 4 more years. If he plays 3 or 4 more years, totally worth it.
He won't, though. You know who Aaron Rodgers is.
Are you sure?
Offseason is extensionally more dramatic than the last. You know what I mean? He's been about to retire for 4 or 5 years. And it's just gotten worse over time. Like, at what point does that become a distraction to the team?
Really, if he wins a Super Bowl, I bet he does retire.
If they do, yeah, he'll be done tomorrow.
So I think really what you want is them to get close the first year, him to come back, win the second year, and then it was worth it.
Then it was worth it.
Jerick McKinnon back in Kansas City. Not a huge contract at all. But his only competition for the third down role is Clyde. Deneric Prince, I don't give a fuck about him. Undrafted free agent rookie, wasn't great. Isaiah Pacheco was an amazing athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Deneric Prince is a meh athlete. McKinnon, though, he had a 6 or 7 week stretch there where he was top 24 running back each week. A lot of it was touchdown luck, but you take that Kansas City offense. Do you think he holds any type of value going down at RB43 this year? Or is that entirely too high for a guy that's only had 1 year of production in the NFL?
I think you like anybody who has an established rapport with Pat Mahomes. I mean, I'm loving that in a best ball type of format.
No.
I want all the Jerick McKinnon I can get in that type of format for sure, because those ones kind of offset those boom weeks. It doesn't really matter when they happen. Redraft, dynasty, all that type of stuff. I'll take it, but good luck trying to guess the week. You know what I mean? It's one.
I rode him to the chip last year in a dynasty league, though. Started him every week.
Yeah, he can, and that was a fortunate stretch. But he's also the guy that could go out there and get you two.
I cannot fucking believe it worked.
Believe
it at all. All right, moving on to Denver's crossing over in the AFC West. Jerry Jeudy's fifth-year option picked up. Samaje Perine, 2 years, $7.5 million, comes over from Denver. No real backfield competition through the draft. We don't know about Javonte Williams. I assume really what's going to happen, realistically, probably sits the first 6 to 8 weeks and comes back slowly, kind of like what Dobbins did. Reports are he might be ready to go week 1. I've heard other reports he won't be close at all. Again, I'm sure they take it kind of slow with him this year. They're not, unless they're in the middle of a Super Bowl run, I doubt he picks up a lot of real volume.
Right.
Sean Payton is there. Perine could be a league winner if things break right. He's going down at running back 35, which is outside the top 100 on Underdog. And this is a guy who in 3 games playing over 60% of the snaps last year had 30, 19, and 21 PPR points. The issue there is I don't think Denver's going to be that good. And Perine's old. He's not explosive. There's issues there.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a risk. Denver didn't do a whole lot outside of that. Tim Patrick's going to be healthy. Interested in Greg Dulcich. I think he has a lot of sneaky value in that Sean Payton offense. But there's a lot of questions in Denver. I'm staying away from Jeudy. I don't like him and where he's going.
Just staying away from who?
Jeudy.
See, that's one where I have to disagree. I think Judy's gonna get some sneaky work. Sean Payton's really good about getting people open in space and letting playmakers make plays. And I think that's the problem, last year with Jeudy is he wasn't. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett kind of, just like a lot of these coaches do, they try to do too fucking much. And he clearly couldn't handle his role. So I think that offense got kind of congested as the season went on. Jeudy had some injury problems, but he's the wide receiver I want in that offense. And it's like, granted, it's a break right type of situation, right? Like things have to break the right way. But that's a dart I'm comfortable throwing. Cortland Sutton, not so much, just because I think he's probably on his way out. He might play the year.
Tim Patrick and his Marquez Colston era. That's the conversation no one's ready to have. Power slot.
Broncos situation is okay. Like, let's look back on it. Sean Payton's a great coach, but he also had Drew fucking Brees for most of that, right? Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson ain't fucking Drew Brees, and I don't give a shit what anybody has to say. Like, yeah, they're similar heights, but they're not the fucking same.
No, they play very different.
I saw a coaching rankings that had Sean Payton at 4, and I don't think I fucking agree at all. Because what has he done without Drew Brees that we even talked about?
Yeah, he led some Cowboys offenses, but I was too young for all that, so don't know.
They didn't win no Super Bowls, I'll tell you that.
No, fuck no. Dalvin Cook, 28 years old, coming off his worst fantasy season since the torn ACL year. Running back 14 in PPR. Is he going to Miami? We already talked about this a little bit. Minnesota searched for a trade earlier in the year. No one wanted him. No one was coming back with good offers. Then it came out he might stay. Then it came out today that they didn't want him and that they were going to cut him and they were ready to have Madison in the backfield. Is Cook going to do anything but muddy that shit up? Jeff Wilson, Mostert, Kane are all 3 already there. And all Dalvin sounds like is a room clogger. And an expensive one at that. Does Dalvin have any fantasy relevance?
I don't think so at all. To me, he's kind of, in that situation, it would take a couple of injuries. Like, I'm not talking like out of 4 guys, 2, like say Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert went down, then we're having a different conversation. But everybody stays healthy, they play the whole season. I don't want any part of that if Dalvin. I don't want any of the 4 of them on my roster at all. I don't think one outshines the other. I've talked a lot about how I think a Kane, Jeff Wilson, Mostert, they're all kind of the same mold. Dalvin's different, right? Sure. But I still don't want any of a 4-piece backfield.
No, they're all going to play.
Yeah, they're all going to play.
They're all going to play. Yeah. Allen Robinson went to Pittsburgh for a 7th-round pick. And then the Rams got a 7th-round pick. They sent one with Allen. There was literally like a 6-pick difference. Does my Lord and Savior come back from the dead?
I think he probably has a better year than he did last year. I don't think
What we're not ready for is the slight but not dead possibility. Are you ready? That Allen Robinson leads the room.
He could.
It could happen. And if that happens, I'm going to run victory laps around it. I'm going to go find Kyle Kraft's dumbass tweet about trade Allen Robinson for any random 23 first, and I'm going to quote tweet it and say for a 2024.
You're going to do some digging on that.
Yeah, someone has it quoted. But, yeah, sad for Allen. He's only 29. I swore he was like 34 at this point. He's like 29 years old. What the fuck happened?
He did some years with the Jags. He did some years with the Bears. He did a year with the Rams. And apparently he must have just been a guy that was in the league at 2021 because, the math ain't adding up to me. I think there is a possibility he might leave that room. The fantasy analyst, one in particular that I can't fucking stand, is a big Deontay Johnson truther, and I just don't fucking. Huh?
You're asleep.
No.
Deontay Johnson is a great fantasy sleeper this year.
What the fuck changed from last year to this year?
He might fall in the end zone. If he fell in the end zone a few times last year, the conversation's different. 147 targets plays.
Kenny Pickett still isn't fucking good.
George Pickens sucks.
The playbook's the same. I mean, sure, will he fall in the end zone?
Been the same the last 3 years when he's had 144 and 169 targets too. And had wide receiver 8 and 22 years. Deontay is a good player.
Anybody's a good player at the right value. I'm just fucking out at where he's getting drafted. Majorly. I'd rather have Pickett.
I'm scared of targets. All right. OBJ to Baltimore, 1 year, 18 mil. Zay Flowers gets drafted there. Todd Monken's the new OC. Is OBJ a buy at wide receiver 54 on Underdog?
Yes.
I agree. They're going to throw a lot. People don't realize that Monken is an air raid guy. They're going to throw a lot of passes.
I think what people aren't ready for is Lamar Jackson to take a huge dump down the fantasy rankings and take a big step up in the real quarterback rankings. I think that's what people aren't ready to talk about. I think he has a much better passing year than he's had in his career, and I don't think he runs as much. And sucks for fantasy, but that's how you keep those guys around. Guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson that have been getting their shit rocked for fucking 5-6 years now, that's not fucking sustainable.
No.
They're either going to have a short career or something's going to have to change. And I think this is the point in Lamar Jackson's career where that is going to change. So quarterback 5, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out for fantasy. I just am.
Yeah, I'm probably getting a lot of Trevor this year at quarterback 8, 9. I think that's what I really like. I'm probably not grabbing a lot of Lamar. I like OBJ down at 54. I'm sure in home leagues or after training camp even that gets ridiculous. If you told me 3 weeks before the season, after a lot of training camp hype and like a good preseason game, people were grabbing him at wide receiver 24, 5, 6, like the wide receiver 2-3 range, wouldn't be shocked.
Wouldn't be
at all. I wouldn't be shocked at all. All right, Juju to New England, 3 years, $39 million. Bill O'Brien is brought in as the new old OC. James Robinson, 2 years, $8 million. Does New England even fucking matter this year? Relevant. Is there one relevant guy? Juju, maybe.
Ramondre. I'm big on Ramondre this year. I don't think James Robinson's a factor.
No. You're already. Ty Montgomery is the third down back.
You remember a couple of years back where you just fucking beat the fucking bell on who was Gio Bernard, and you told
that was back when I thought that we could hot take it out, and I've stopped. But this is Ty Montgomery was going to be the third down back last year. Bill doesn't want Mondre on that field a lot. Bill has this thing: running backs can't play more than 35% of the snaps. It's just that's the rule. Can't do it. Watch.
Okay.
Is James Robinson going to play at all?
I'm going to have a shitload of Ramondre this season. I think that's all training camp bullshit.
No. Okay. All right. Sam Darnold. Is he going to be unlocked by Kyle Shanahan, as reports are saying?
Fucking probably. I bet he plays the best football of his career.
I'd be shocked if he gets in and plays really well and they can trade him for like a third round pick.
That's the thing is people don't like, Sam Darnold, he's had a real shit fucking go. Right? Like Jets to the Panthers, there wasn't a fucking bright mind in the box at either place. There's a real good opportunity that if he gets in, he probably will play well. That's the thing. I don't doubt that at all. If I was gonna roster a third string quarterback, that'd probably be the one without a doubt.
I'd probably, if he was on the waiver wire and died in a big dynasty league, I'd jump on it.
Mm-hmm. Because they can't keep him healthy.
No,
they can't keep your quarterback healthy to save their lives. So, sooner or later, I think he's going to be starting a football game this year.
Oh yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. All right, New Orleans, going down to New Orleans. Jamal Williams, 3 years, $12 million. Derek Carr gets traded there. Michael Thomas, 1 year, $10 million, resigns. Is this a sneaky good fantasy offense, or is this that second year of Teddy Bridgewater in Carolina where it just fell flat?
I think it's good. I think there's going to be some underrated assets in that offense. Here's the thing about the NFC South. Everybody just thinks the whole entirety of it sucks. I think there's some valuable pieces here and there. Chris Olave, his ADP in my mind is kind of out of the ballpark because he's going second round, I think. Insane with what he's shown. Plus, for me, I'm out on him at a second round ADP. But a guy like Mike Thomas, I'll throw that dart if he stays healthy.
I don't like Mike Thomas. No, sir. Wide receiver 47, top 100 pick. Out, gross, nasty, out. I like Derek Carr. John Gruden's been in there helping the install. I like that. That's a good idea. I think A.T. Perry's a guy that might have a little bit of a role that people don't think about. Carr would be a good second quarterback in Superflex.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I'm good with him as a sec. I'd rather have him than Kirk Cousins most weeks.
All right. Off-season pod. We're going to cut it up 30 minutes. What is the one team that you think got the best over the offseason? And we're going to finish this next week. So we're going to go over the second half. But real quick before we get out of here, best upgraded team this offseason.
Best upgraded team this offseason. As much as I hate it for fantasy, I love what the Seahawks did. They went out and added some real weapons. I still don't think that they are major contenders, but I think they put themselves in a position where they will be inevitably a wild card, might fuck around and do something.
I'd have to go with just offensively, I guess. I'm not counting defense here. And we didn't talk about it, and there's a reason for it because I want to spend a lot of time on it. Carolina, I was looking at it today and what that offense has become. Is really good. DJ Chark, I've forever been a Chark truther, where if he's on the field, he's a top 30 wide receiver, but he gets paid like a top 70 wide receiver.
Yeah.
Huge value. Thielen
Thielen.
works with Young. Sanders, if he gets a good workload, if you go back and look at the right running backs, they're all really good for fantasy, and Sanders is talented. A lot of sneaky value. Hayden Hurst got paid. He'll be used. There's a lot of good value there, so I'd go there. All right, guys, we will come back at you next week. We're going to do 30-minute episodes every week of the off season, so we'll get you ready. Training camp will be up soon. Football season's 2 months away, so gotta get ready. Gotta be fantasy ready. Caden, I hope you enjoy your Scott Fish Bowl calmness. I'll be stressing about it for the next 3 weeks, though I'm sure I'll get it.
Year 2, we're back.
I'll just keep waiting. I'll get it eventually. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good night.